this video is actually for my mother-in-law because she always asks me how I make certain things, and so one of those things is Brussels sprouts, and it's really easy. I literally don't really do anything, but I was just gonna make this video so you can watch me make them. So I get one of these just bag of raw Brussels sprouts at the grocery. You usually get it in the produce section by like the lettuce and well, it's not always by the lettuce, but you can usually find it somewhere on the produce section. I just dump them all out, and I go in and cut off the ends. So I just chop that off, and then I'm going to chop them in half. So I already washed my hands, but I'm going to get a knife. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to cut off all the ends and then chop them in half. And then I'm going to throw them in my colander, because then I'm going to kind of wash them off. Got my cast iron skillet here. I like to use this for my vegetables, especially the Brussels sprouts, because it kind of gets like a nice char on them. So I am just heating up the pan right now. I'm gonna get some olive oil, which I gotta fill my thing back up, but just get the big bottle out. Pretty much just let this heat up a little bit before I put the olive oil in, and then it's pretty warm. Just put some olive oil in, maybe like 2 tablespoons, depending on how many Brussels sprouts you have. Let that heat up a little bit, and then I'm just going to throw in the Brussels sprouts, and I always get all those extra leaves in there, because they kind of get really browned up and they taste really yummy. So I kind of just let them sit in there for a minute. I'm going to get some salt and pepper. Woo. And sprinkle a little bit of that on there. Brussels sprouts need a lot of seasoning. They're super bland. And some pepper. And then I always cover it because they are very hard. It's a very hard vegetable, and so it kind of needs a little bit of a steam to get it going. So I cover it, I don't know, maybe about 5 minutes, and just let it sit here and kind of do its thing. So we'll come back when we go into the next step. Okay, so they've been kind of steaming on like medium-high for about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm just going to take the lid off and give them a little bit of a stir. And we are going to leave it for, I don't know, a few more minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes, let them steam up a little bit more, and we'll give it another stir. So I just happened to get a text from my husband, and he just informed me that it is actually my mother and father-in-law's anniversary today. So happy anniversary, 52 years, and so yeah, for your anniversary present, you're getting a video on how to make Brussels sprouts. Okie, it has been about 3 or 4 more minutes, so I'm just going to give it another stir. And at this point, you may need to add like a little bit more olive oil, depending on what's in the bottom of the pan. I wouldn't add too much just because otherwise you won't get as good of like a char. And then I do go around and kind of turn these little sides down so that the bottom bits can get charred if they haven't already. So then I kind of feel them and they are a little bit softer, so I think I'm going to leave, I think I am going to put a little bit of olive oil in, just a tiny bit. You don't want it to burn too much. Kind of move that around in there. And then at this point, like I said, if I feel like they're still kind of really firm, then I'll keep the lid on. But at this point, I think they're fine to just cook openly. These have been cooking on here for probably about 10 minutes at the most. So I'm just going to keep kind of giving them a stir. And they're probably about done. And then at this point, I usually just grab like one of the leaves and cool it off because it's going to be really hot. And taste it and see if it might need a little bit more salt or pepper. Pretty good. So you can add a little more salt and pepper or whatever. I'm going to turn the heat off. And that's it. Olive oil, salt and pepper, cast iron skillet, and you're good to go.